Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to take your switch from your hand to your TV. These controllers can be made for any size TV, and if you want to see how, just keep watching. Hi guys, so let's start on Cricut Design Space. I'm going to be showing you how I create these switch controllers for TVs of all different sizes. So I created my own SVG file and I do have it in my Etsy shop. So if you want to go purchase it there, you can. I'll have it in the description box below so you can go check it out. So what we're going to do is you're going to start a new project. Well, let me start a new project. And then once you get the file from Etsy and you save it onto your computer, you're going to upload it into Cricut Design Space. Upload, browse. Okay, so this is my file, and now I'm in the way. Now we're just going to press continue, and there should be nothing to take out of the back. Just click upload, and now it should be uploaded here. I'm going to zoom out so we can see the full picture. So, all right. So now you have your file in here, right? So depending on what size TV you're making this for, 42-inch, 4350, is how you're going to have to size this in Cricut Design Space. So I have a Word document, and I will link this as well in the description box. But it tells you the height to focus on for each size TV. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. But each size TV, it gives you the height, right? So today I'm going to be making one for a 42-inch TV. So our dimensions, the width, you don't need to worry about. The height is what you want to worry about. So for a 42-inch TV, you need them to be 20 inches high, right? So if we go back to Cricut Design Space, right now, let's ungroup these. Right now, these are total height. They are 11.6 inches. So that is way too small, right? So to be honest, the little hump part is going to go on top of the TV. So you don't really want that part to be included into it. So if you only put this at 20 inches, like it said on the height for this 40 for any 42-inch TV, that is not going to be quite big enough, long enough. I mean, it'll still work. You just have like probably a little space at the bottom, but what I do is go up 1 inch. So whatever size TV you're doing, and it says whatever the height is, you go up 1 inch. So this said 20 inches high, so we're gonna go to 21. And how I know this is because we go to 21 inches, and then we go here and go to the actual red part. This red part of the controller is what's going to be covering the whole side of the TV, right? So that's what you want to be 20 inches. And as you can see, it's 20 inches. So and then that extra 2 inches at the top is going to be holding onto the top of the TV. I hope that's making sense. Anyway, you want to size your controllers to be 1 inch higher than what the height says for the dimensions of whatever size television you're doing. Let's make this at 21.2. And then there we have it. So everything is already ready to cut. The file that I have on Etsy, everything is already ready to cut. All right, so let's see how these look. Will they cut? Yeah, so for a 42-inch TV, it will definitely cut in one piece on the mat. So either way you can do with any machine. If your TV size is larger and your controller gets longer and longer than 24 inches, you're gonna have to it's gonna have to cut into two different places, and you just piece it together like you would any other Cricut larger than that Cricut project. But for this one, we're not gonna need to do that, which is great. So all you have to do is now cut out your controllers, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'm gonna move over to my machines. Okay guys, I want to show you what kind of permanent vinyl I am going to be using. I'm just using Oracle in the color sky blue and red, and this is for the red and blue controllers. Or you can choose to do the pink and green controllers. I have Oracle in pink and in light green, so you can do them double-sided, and that's what I am going to do today, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting. Of course, you're also going to need gray and black for the other cuts. So let's go ahead and start cutting, and then I'll show you what to do next. Also guys, please stay tuned to the end of the video. I will be doing a giveaway, so you don't want to miss that. Okay guys, so you're going to need a foam board. I highly suggest getting a black foam board, and you can get one from Dollar Tree or Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, wherever. I just know that the Dollar Tree ones are a little bit more flimsy, I guess. They're not as thick. So I either purchased mine from Hobby Lobby. They are $2.99. They're a little thicker. But anyway, just get your foam board, whatever one you're using, make sure it's black. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do, so this part is basically the hardest part of it all, is getting this big piece onto the foam board correctly. And it's because you need to make sure that your straight edge is actually on there straight, and it's not going to be crooked or anything like this, because when you go to put it onto the television or wherever you're hanging it, you don't want it to have like gaps and hanging off of the TV all crooked. So it's very important that you have your straight edge lined up straight. Okay, so instead of using transfer tape to transfer these, we're going to use press and seal, and that is because this is a little lighter tack than the standard grip transfer. And I'm telling you this because I have made a couple of these, and I've made a lot of mistakes trying to get it on with the standard grip, and the standard grip does not work well for me. So I highly suggest just getting the press and seal. Is very light tack, and it'll work better. When trying to transfer it with the standard grip transfer tape, this grip is too tacky, and when you put it on the board and then you try to pull up the transfer tape, it pulls up the vinyl, and as well as sometimes the paper backing of this foam board. So I wouldn't suggest using transfer tape. So the first thing I do is, there is like a slight cut on here, a cut line here where it actually cut out that straight edge of that controller. So I fold back that piece. I don't want that in the way, because I need to make sure that this thing is going to get onto this foam board straight. So I just fold this piece down where it was already cut. Alright, so now that we have that piece folded down, that's how we should have it. And then I take my pressing seal and my little scraper tool, and we're gonna get that pressed down really good onto the pressing seal. Alright, so grab your foam board, and what we're going to do is figure out where we want to place this on the foam board, because you're going to need enough space. You're going to need enough space for this part to hang over the edge. Now, I've made the mistake of, hey, we need a straight edge here, so why don't I just put it on the edge of the board and then we'll have a straight edge. That's not going to work, because if you do that, then you'll have this piece hanging off of the foam board and it doesn't have a backing. So that won't work, and I made that mistake once. So you just make sure you have enough room. Make sure you have enough room on your foam board for your top piece. And you don't want to put your top piece on first, because then when you try to place this on and have it in the right spot, here along the curve, the straight edge may end up slanted. So I've made that mistake before as well. So don't put this on first. You really need to put the larger piece on first. So I have this long straight edge ruler that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I will put that in the description box below. But this is what I use to help me get this thing as straight as possible. So we kind of want it about right here. That's where I've been placing this at, right? So I'm gonna move this out of the way. All right, so I just grab a marker or something to mark, like put a line here. So if you don't have this straight edge ruler, you could just use any ruler and draw a line on your board and then line it up that way. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line down the board. But even in my instance with this ruler, I just placed that marker there just in case the ruler like moves or something on the board. But most of the time I just take some masking tape and I'll tape at the top and then make sure it's straight, and then I'll tape at the bottom. And this just makes sure it doesn't move on the board. Like now it moves with the board, right? So it's keeping it in place for me. So now we grab your vinyl piece again. And so, like I've said, I messed up many times with this, right? And I'll show you guys my little mess ups because I have them here. But my first instinct was to try to place the vinyl here and then slowly lay it down vertically. But I've realized that is not the best way to do that, to make sure that this stays straight. The best way to do it is to put the edge of this along this ruler and stick it on the board that way, and then press the rest of it down slowly horizontally. So that is what I'm going to do. What I normally do here is just like we folded this little piece back, I peel off, and because this press and seal isn't as tacky as normal transfer tape, you will have to kind of like help it come up off of the paper a little bit. There we go. Okay, so once you get it up off of the paper a little bit, I fold back the backing just a little so that the edge is showing, the sticky edge is showing, because you do not want to take this all off at once. I've done that too, and did not turn out well. Alright, so now we have just the straight edge of the controller showing. So now I just go along very carefully, and guys, it's hard for me to record while I'm doing this, so I hope that you can kind of see what I'm doing. But I'm literally just placing that straight edge right along the ruler. And if you drew a line, you just do the same thing. Place your straight edge right along that line that you drew. Alright, now that we have that along the ruler, and you press it down, make sure it's sticking to the foam board. And then we're going to just flip it over a little bit. Grab your scraper tool, and you want to flip your vinyl over. Pull a little bit back at a time. And then you place the tool right up under the edge of where the paper is, and then scoot back a little, start scooting the design back a little bit, and making sure you're pressing firmly in, and keep doing that back and forth along the design so that there is no bubbles being created. What I'm doing is taking the scraper and pushing back the design a little bit. And you just go up and down, push it back. Okay, so that turned out really good. Now you just pull up your press and seal, and this is why I use the press and seal, because it is way easier to pull up than a transfer paper. It's going to try to, if you use a transfer paper, it's going to pull this up and some of the paper from the phone. Now we have a amazing straight edge for our controller. Now the next thing you're going to do is we're going to put the top piece on. So I'm going to use the press and seal as well for this. Hi guys, I want to hop on real quick and let you know about a new website where you can make some extra money if you're a crafter, or you can get help with your craft orders with freelance crafters on YanaCraft.com. So this is how it works. You sign up as a business if you have a business, and then you can post your orders on the website for a freelancer to complete for you and ship to your customer. As a freelancer, you can sign up, make those orders, ship them to those customers, and then you make money and you can cash out daily or weekly. Go check it out at www.yanacraft.com. It's also in Google Play Store or in Apple Store. Okay, so now cutting this, you want to make sure that you are keeping the straight edge straight. So we're going to use our handy dandy ruler again. Okay, so now we're just going to use the ruler to place a line a little ways away from the controller, just so we have enough room for cutting. Mine is maybe like 3 or 4 markings away from, like, on the ruler. I don't really know what that measurement is, but just draw your line so that you don't cut your vinyl, and you do that at the top as well. Okay, so to cut my foam board, I have some electronic scissors. These work best for me. I will put them down in the description box below. Or if you do not have the electronic scissors, you can use a box cutter. But I will show you the difference um, in how the foam looks with the box cutter being cut or it being cut by the electronic scissors. So this was cut with the box cutter, and you see how like it looks a little wonky looking. And this one was cut with the electronic scissors, and you can see how much straighter it is. Okay, so with my electronic scissors, I'm going to try to cut this out while recording, and I'm just praying I do not mess up. So if I get out of the camera some, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to do this while recording. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe my blade on my box cutter needed to be changed, but just make sure your blade is sharp if you're not going to use the electronic scissors. I will say that these scissors make the cutting a lot faster though. So for the back side, we're gonna kind of do the same thing we did with the front. So every time I make a red one, I put pink on the back, and then when I make a blue one, I put the green on the back. You can make these controllers any color that you want, but we are going to put the pink on the back of this one. Okay, so here I'm just measuring how far I have my vinyl starting on the first side, and I'm going to place it in the same exact spot on the second side. So I'm just measuring it out, and then I'm going to draw a line, and then we are going to place the vinyl on it just like we did before by bending back the small piece of the backing and then sticking it along that line. One thing I will suggest is making sure that you get 651 Oracle. Basically, it's permanent instead of the 631 Oracle. So this pink vinyl that I'm using is actually 631. It worked fine, but you can tell it's not as tacky, and bubbles were forming over time with this. So I highly suggest getting the 651 permanent vinyl. Okay, so now you just want to finish putting together the controllers. I always put the larger pieces of the controllers on both sides if you're going to do it double-sided, and then go ahead and place the other pieces on your controller. Make sure you place your letter buttons, the X, Y, and A and B, in the right spots by referring back to your Cricut design space. Okay, so most foam boards have a light color core, especially the ones from Dollar Tree. They are pure white. So in order for them to look uniform and match when you put them on the TV, I just use a Sharpie and go along the edge and color them in. It makes it look way better. Okay, so now we're going to set them up to be hung on the TV. I use the Velcro roll strips. They can hold up to 5 pounds. We shouldn't need that much because these foam boards are very light. So they come in two rows. One is the grip side and one is the soft side. You just measure out however long your controller is, and then you cut both sides and then place them together. Now we're going to cut that one long row in half, and then you're going to cut it in half again because the controllers are very skinny, so you don't need that much and you don't want them to hang over the side. Okay, so you should have two skinny strips, and then we are just going to peel the backing off of the strong grip side, the not the soft side, but the grip side. And I always put the grip side onto the controller. So that way the soft side will be on the TV when we place it on there. Also, be mindful, they do have these Velcro strips in a sewing type. So you don't want to get the sewing one. You want to make sure it says sticky back, and these will stick directly to the controllers. Okay, so now you just press firmly to make sure that it stays on, and then we're going to do the same thing for the top half of the controller that will be hung onto the top of the TV. Okay, so now we are done, and this is how they will look. You want to make sure you wipe the dust and stuff off of your TV. I'm only pulling off the top of this so I can show you guys how it looked, because this will be going to my nephew, so I don't want to take off the other long strip. But this is how they will look on the TV. So guys, if you do not want to make these yourself, I do sell these in my Etsy shop. I will have it linked down below. And also I am doing a giveaway. If you subscribe to my channel and then comment below, game on, I will be randomly selecting a winner of a pair of double-sided controllers. Okay, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer them. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.